Hey guys, this is Mark with Niche Empire back again. Very concise, very brief module. We want to talk about kind of recognizing the high level KPIs. KPI stands for Key Performance Indicator, and we can get on a super granular level with KPIs. So, if you're running a marketing campaign, say you're running, Facebook clicks and, sorry, Facebook ads, and, you discuss with the company what KPIs are important. So for me personally, depending on the macro conversion, some of the KPIs for the Facebook ads themselves could be like, how many impressions as opposed to clicks, right? Not necessarily even engagements, but clicks. And so that percentage is one KPI we can look at and try to improve, because obviously the more clicks, the more you're making, right? The more potential for a conversion on the page. And we can actually look at the traffic source in general and say, okay, so Facebook traffic coming to this page converts at 11%, while our other traffic's converting in the high 20s, low 30s%. So that's another KPI we can look at. And you can even go farther down the rabbit hole, the attribution model, if you will, and say, okay, based on these initial conversions, X% of Facebook. So maybe once they turn into a lead, maybe, I don't know, maybe 40% of Facebook converts, while 18% of the rest of traffic converts into an actual paying customer. So it'd be another KPI. So there's a lot of KPIs, and you can dig even deeper, but KPIs are just, different numbers we can look at a glance, and if we improve those numbers, we can improve either additional KPIs farther down the attribution model, or we can, make more money. Essentially, that's the end game goal. That's the macro conversion: more business, more money, more sales, whatever that might be. So what I want you guys to do for your specific industry is create a super high level KPI, set of KPIs. This is going to differ from specific business to specific business, but if we just get an idea of how these people make their money, okay, so just every business is going to have a CAC. That's one of the KPIs. It's the cost to acquire a client, right? So you have to look at, so a lawyer, they have to look at how much they pay per lead that comes in, no matter what type of advertising they're using, whatever it is, how much they pay for the lead, how many leads convert into a paying client. That's your cost per acquiring a client, right? So that's one KPI. So the frequency of purchase, that's another KPI, but that doesn't apply for all businesses. So for instance, a personal injury attorney is, how many times are you going to get into how many times are you going to get injured to the point where you're getting this attorney to sue someone for you, so you can get, reimbursed for your pain and your, whatever. It's not nearly as much of a frequency of purchase. So in most cases, that KPI isn't even going to be looked at. In a lot of legal practice, actually, that KPI isn't going to be looked at. The customer lifetime value then is a lot easier to determine, but that's another key performance indicator you want to look at. So you're going to have to do this model for every client you work with, where every client's numbers and business model is going to differ from business to business. But I just want you to get down and look at your industry and recognize, I already pretty much laid out the main KPIs for you, but I want you to recognize what those KPIs are specifically, how they fit into the model. And if you'd like, you can even start breaking out a larger map and say, okay, so if I'm doing the dental practice, how much is it to acquire the client? You can kind of break down and say, okay, so what we need to be looking at is how much it's costing people to look at our advertising, whether that's a website, a sponsored listing on a directory site, anything, right? How much is it costing, direct mail, whatever, how much is it costing to get our message in front of someone? And based on that number, how many people are converting with that message and becoming a lead, or taking the first step to making a phone call? And once you start breaking everything down into kind of those microscopic KPIs, where you see, okay, so we're getting this many phone calls in, but only this many appointments are getting set, then just having your KPIs mapped out like that are going to allow you to solve major problems that it's just easy to overlook. So maybe the issue isn't the advertising at all or the effectiveness of the message. Maybe it's the receptionist or how they book appointments or how they order from you that you need to look at. Maybe they need a better user experience. You need to record the calls, or run through your scheduling apps or your ordering process on the websites. Maybe it's more of a user experience issue there, and that bottleneck can cost you a lot of money. So just mapping out some KPIs for your specific model, it's going to really help you moving forward. You're going to learn more about how your specific niche, the businesses in your niche works, and how we can improve them dramatically. So again, very short module guide. Just take your time. You're only going to have a few main KPIs. Think of different ways we can monitor other KPIs and different bottlenecks that could come up, and how we can kind of solve those problems using KPIs, and you'll be well on your way. I'll catch you in the next one, guys.